Welcome to the Middlesbrough College STEM Centre, the pioneering science, technology, engineering and maths training facility here on Teesside. Within this induction, we will be introducing the areas of the STEM Centre, including the chemical process hall, logistics area, laboratories and the manufacturing hall. We will be covering health and safety within those areas, including fire alarms and other alarms, first aid, as well as demonstrating access around the building. The STEM Centre is a culmination of years of work between Middlesbrough College and our industry partners to create a centre of excellence to meet today's requirements for training. Based on industry standards, the STEM Centre delivers a real working environment for people across a wide range of disciplines. These include advanced manufacturing, warehousing and logistics, process and engineering. The STEM Centre has various working areas that each require specific control measures and personal protective equipment, PPE. This induction will enable you to understand that it is your responsibility to observe the requirements of each individual area and not to enter unless you have specific permission and appropriate equipment is worn when stipulated. All areas are clearly marked to inform you of what each area requires. Many areas of the building require no PPE, such as corridors and classrooms. But where areas such as workshops require PPE, the entry and exit points will be clearly identified with signage highlighting the requirements. No areas of the STEM Centre can be entered except for the reception and induction training rooms without completing this induction and signing in. All work in our practical areas is strictly controlled by our skilled training staff, using and delivering specialist training inputs, standard operating procedures, permits to work, segregation of activities and risk assessments. The oil, gas and chemical industry can be a hazardous place to work. In the chemical process hall, you will have the opportunity to work in an industrial environment under controlled conditions in order to prepare you for life in industry. This hall contains processes of oil, gas and petrochemicals that are potentially flammable. Some processes are also at a high temperature and pressure. Before you're allowed to work in this hall, you will be given a further local induction into the hazards and rules for safe working. The STEM logistics area replicates many of the operations you would experience in the logistics industry and provides the opportunity to develop skills such as forklift truck driving, working at heights and operating powered access platforms. It additionally provides learners with the opportunity to erect and dismantle steel structures in a controlled environment. The logistics industry has its own hazards. These include vehicle movement, falling objects and falls from height. The laboratories contain hazardous substances, including harmful chemicals, gases and equipment. It is important to always be aware of the risks that these chemicals cause. All chemicals have the relevant COSH assessment on each individual bottle and must be securely stored in their allocated areas. Do not attempt to use these unless you have been trained and authorised to do so. The manufacturing hall delivers many of the manufacturing operations and environments learners will face in industry, and also develops an understanding of manufacturing management and business improvement techniques. The key hazards in the manufacturing hall are the rotating equipment, reciprocating machinery, vehicles and product movements, along with the power tools and automated equipment such as robots, which may move suddenly with a command from alternative locations. The risks arising from these hazards are managed by guards and interlocks, as well as strict controls, so only authorised people can operate machinery. The key STEM rules are high-level rules that apply to everyone who comes into the Middlesbrough College STEM Centre. You will receive additional area-specific inductions as appropriate. These will cover individual areas of the centre in more detail. No entry to the STEM Centre without induction. No work to be started in a practical area without a specific local induction to that area. All work must be covered by a risk assessment and standard operating procedure. No work to be started unless this is completed and authorised. All high-risk activity must be covered by a work permit and a specific checklist for that task. Mandatory PPE to be worn at all times. These are displayed at the entrance to each work area. This PPE is a legal requirement for all who enter that area. Protect yourself from a fall when working at height. Do not work or walk under a suspended load. Avoid confined space work if possible. Obtain authorisation as in a permit and associated confined space checklist before entering any confined space. Obey local signage and rules, which are displayed on entrances to work areas and in other areas to highlight specific hazards and controls. Observe all isolations and do not start any work until isolations have been verified. Maintain vehicle and pedestrian segregation. Keep to walkways at all times. Remember to get thumbs up from the driver before entering a vehicular area. Report all incidents, accidents and near misses immediately to your host or tutor. See it, sort it and report it. No mobile phones allowed in any work area. No ignition sources are allowed in some areas. No alcohol or drugs allowed on site, or anyone under the influence will not be permitted to remain on site. No smoking or vaping allowed outside of the designated smoking shelter. These rules must be followed to ensure nobody is hurt. It's your safety, it's your life. Failure to comply with the STEM rules may result in removal from the premises and may result in disciplinary procedure actions. It is important that occupants become familiar with the STEM centre layout and evacuation procedure in the event of a fire. If you discover a fire, you must raise the alarm by breaking the glass, evacuate the building and report to the fire warden at the fire assembly point. The evacuation alarm is a continuous sound. When you hear this alarm, evacuate the building without delay via your nearest exit. Every room in the STEM centre has a fire action notice, which instructs you of what to do and where to go in the event of evacuation. Fire extinguishers are strategically placed around the building to be used by trained individuals. Their positions are selected according to the type of fire that may occur in that specific area of the building. Manual call points for activating fire alarms can be found adjacent to final exits. They are also placed by the exits on each floor of the building. Once out of the building, make your way to your designated fire assembly point and report any problems to the fire warden. Additionally, there are procedures for injured and disabled occupants. Please speak to your host or STEM centre reception if you are unsure of these. On entering any room or areas, always familiarise yourself with the layout, fire points in every location you're in case of an emergency. Remember, always be aware of your 2 nearest exit points at all times. There are also local evacuation alarms in the process hall, which are used for training purposes. They should be ignored in other areas. For your safety and security, you will be issued an access card. These will be issued once you have completed your induction and signed in. Guidance on how you receive these cards will be given to you after the induction at reception. You'll be given access to the areas you need to be able to work in. Familiarise yourself with the location of the first aid room, first aid kits and automated external defibrillators, known as AEDs. Please tell us about any medical conditions or medications that might affect your ability to work safely or that will help us to take care of you. If you or someone you are with has taken ill, phone 6969 immediately from an internal phone to summon a first aider. Alternatively, contact reception or a member of security staff. If the situation is life-threatening, contact Emergency Services Direct on 9999 and then contact the First Aid Team on 6969. We have now covered the areas of the STEM Centre. Be aware of the key STEM rules, fire and other alarms, evacuation procedures, first aid and access control of the building through swipe card systems. You are required to learn, understand and follow the key STEM rules, including any that are specific to your work area or tasks. If you have any questions, are unsure about any of these procedures or require more information, please contact reception or your host. This concludes the site induction. Any concerns or suggestions should be reported to reception, a tutor or your host. Please enjoy your time at Middlesbrough College STEM Centre.